I had a bunch of close calls on that mountain. I very nearly lost my life down a deep crevasse. I was almost taken by an avalanche that missed me by 100 foot. And I learned a lesson that day: trust your instinct. In the wild, you only get it wrong once. So this is about trying to share with you 5 of my closest shaves that I've had in my life. 5 minutes, 5 shaves, 1 minute per shave. Here we go. One of my first close shaves was actually as a kid, trying to cross this harbour where I lived at low tide, and it was always this like sinking mud. When the water went out, everyone's like, never go near the harbour at low tide, and I always thought, I wonder if I could get across it. I set out, I got about halfway, started to sink, knew it was a bad idea, tried to push on, started to see people gather on the banks, then people started calling the emergency services. I knew I was in trouble. And eventually I found a way to wriggle and get my leg out and like crawl like a seal, and eventually made it across. Got caught, was in so much trouble by my mum, and she said, you got to do chores for the rest of the summer for the lifeboat guys and the Coast Guard who were troubled that day. So lesson 1 was learned: how to get out of quick mud when you're in trouble. Second closest shave was probably for me on Mount Everest. We had 4 climbers lose their lives up there during the 3 months I was on that mountain. 2 died of the cold, 2 fell. I very nearly lost my life down a deep crevasse. I was almost taken by an avalanche that missed me by 100 foot and would have just, that would have been the end of that. I had a bunch of close calls on that mountain. It's a humbling experience, and in many ways I left with less confidence than I went, but I survived it, and I'm hugely grateful. And those precious few moments on the top, in some ways, felt a hollow victory. No summit is ever worth a life, but I look back at it hugely grateful to have survived it, hugely grateful for the friendships, and I'll never forget that summit. Curvature of the earth at the edges, amazing. Third close shave, parachute accident whilst I was serving in the military. I was in Southern Africa. I had a problem with a canopy. It was getting dark. I came in crazy fast, end up smashing to the ground. I broke my back in 3 different places. Spent best part of the next year in and out of military rehabilitation back in the UK. I shattered T8, T10, T12 vertebrae, and I was incredibly lucky not to be paralysed. The doctor said I'd been within a hair whisker of severing my spinal cord, so I got lucky that day. But I'm also aware that I've been given another chance. So another chance. As a young guy, I was given another chance at life, and I was going to live life with courage and determination and go for things. It's that feeling of that second chance, that it's a gift, and don't squander that gift of life. The 4th thing I would probably say was expedition to try and cross the Arctic Ocean in a open, rigid, inflatable boat. 3,000 miles, and we got caught in some horrendous storms off the coast of Greenland. We had icebergs being smashed and huge waves, and our boat kept getting totally swamped, and we were just caught out 500 miles offshore in these horrific gale force conditions. There was nothing we could do apart from say our prayers and hold on to each other and to that boat and pray we came through it, which we did. But it was a truly terrifying experience. I think the power of nature, and especially the power of the sea in freezing cold conditions, is a tough one. And we crawled off that boat, 5 very grateful, pretty broken men. And then the final one is something that I haven't spoken about before, but it occurred in the jungles of Sumatra, and we were filming Man vs. Wild, and there was a jungle river in full flood. And really the lesson is never get in a jungle river in full flood. And my instinct was telling me this, but I needed to find a route down this river. The reason jungle rivers in full flood are dangerous is it's brown water, hides all the strainers, all the hidden logs. And I got in it, and the crew got in a little inflatable boat behind, and we're shooting through these rapids. There was a big undercut of rock. I got taken under this thing. The crew boat went past, I put my hand up, and I just managed to grab one of the crew's hands as it went past, and that split second saved my life. Otherwise, I would have been taken under that rock shelf and I'd never have come out. But for me, it's a reminder. Instinct is the nose of the mind. Trust it. And I learned a lesson that day. Trust your instinct. And if in doubt, there's no doubt. Don't do something. In the wild, you only get it wrong once. So there we go, 5 close shaves, and I hope they help you to make good decisions in your life.